Like change is the most scariest thing in the
Terrifying.
world to a person that never experienced it. But
Yes,
the
sir.
only way you can experience change is through accountability. You have to take accountability. There's nothing that I can't see forthcoming in the street
Right.
because I done seen it all in jail with different areas of people and species and walks of
Right.
life. I try to protect majority of the stuff that I say because people
Yes.
know me.
You gotta be
Feel me?
PC. Yes, sir.
And I don't want them like, oh yeah, that's the one I know right there. But
Yeah.
this is my testimony. I can't stop it.
Right. Come on,
In
man.
order to fit in these realms to get where you need to get to, you have to be humble.
Yes.
Still cry when we fight. Still dream about you and I. Still check my phone every minute. Even when I think I reached my limit. Still text to say goodnight. Even when we ain't alright. I do.
Yo, welcome back to the Saturday Who podcast. It's your boy Sheemie Dubb. Shout out Hope for a Fifth again. Shout out to Rabbit Hole. Shout out Jay Walts and his Therapy Thursday. We here. We back for another episode, doing it big. We got, man. Well, I said we was going crazy with the guests this year. Um, but this man right here is is just a inspiration from where I'm from. I'm from where he from. You know what I'm saying? So
That
grew
part.
up in the same building. You know what I'm saying, in the Bronx, and just to see his journey, just to see somebody from a generation that's a little bit before mine, kicking it the same way we kicking it, spreading the growth, spreading the positivity, spreading, the execution of generational curses. Like it's just an honor to be sitting next to this man right here, Kev Moe from the Bronx. Big bro, I appreciate you,
You know,
coming on the cast, the pod. You know what I'm saying?
you know,
It's really good having you here. I haven't had someone from home. You know what I'm saying? For real on the podcast. So having you here is a real honor. First BX, birthplace of hip hop, all that. We could go
that
into all
part.
that. Yeah. So I want you to introduce yourself. Let the people of Saturday who know a little bit about yourself. Where you from, things like that.
Well, some people might already know who I am. It just was timing for this thing to happen and I had to be with the right people. But
Yes, sir.
I'm from the Bronx. Well, I say the Bronx, but we the only borough in New York City that got two words, the Bronx. But I'm from Castle Hill, actually, 2125
Yes,
Randall
sir.
Avenue. Y'all see, that's my Instagram, KevMo 2125. Uh, man, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yes, sir.
Took me a minute to get here, but I'm
Yeah,
here. I appreciate you, man.
we made it happen.
For sure, especially the things that we got going on. But
Yes, there's a
we'll
lot of
get into
movement.
that in a minute, man. But I just wanted to give you people, a little introduction to who I am. Some of y'all may know me. Appreciate y'all, man.
Hmm.
We still here and we still going.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important part. We
Yes,
woke
sir.
up this morning.
Yes, sir. Let me tell y'all why, you know, why Kev qualified to be a part of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because what he does for the community, what he does for, it's not just a race thing, but what he does for young black boys and young black girls, just every youth, all the youth. It don't matter your race, but specifically, sometimes we relate more to people who look like us that made the change. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what Saturday Who that started with at a low point in my life and a low point in Jay Walt's life, us, bringing up the podcast, we was at a low point. So to see somebody, because we feel like we didn't have nobody in a forward generation in front of us to lift us up. We didn't have those mentors. So to see somebody like yourself in a forward generation uplifting, turning lows to highs, like that's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we needed and what we need more of in the community. So, Kev, one of my questions to you is, what do you do in today's world?
Oh man.
It's
I
a
ain't
it's
gonna
a
take
list.
y'all around the world
Yeah.
like the health drink, but I'm gonna bring y'all back though to reality, man.
Yes, sir.
The things that I do, man, it's what a lot of people should be doing when they come from where we came from.
Amen.
Like giving forward back to the children.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time still helping out adults, but more so giving back to the children, preferably at risk youth.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I want to touch up and go backwards for a second on something you said about, seeing people of our kind prospering from negativity to positivity
Mm-hmm.
that look like them for
Mm-hmm.
the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a saying when I go to them schools, I go to 6 schools in North Carolina.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm also doing a little tour in other schools as well, different states. But
Right.
that'll be upcoming in second. But getting back to what you just said, like I said, I ain't want to go around the world. I'm
Yeah,
gonna bring
yeah,
it
yeah.
back.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
cause there's a lot.
Right.
But I have a saying, man. If you look like them, you talk like them, you walk like them, you eat like them, you smell like them, who else are they liable to be talking to or want to talk to?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
Mm-hmm.
that look like them,
Right.
especially as somebody that touched the fire, possibly what they trying to do or what they think they doing or
Right.
think they did
Right.
and keep doing.
Right.
So that's something that's very big, man, that I do, man, with the youth. I'm also a chef. I do catering and stuff
Yes,
like
sir.
that. And I
Jack of all
also
trades.
manage a few up and coming artists that I help out,
Yep.
brothers and sisters that I push to keep on the path and have the talent and
Right.
just don't have the plug
Right.
to get them there.
Right.
You feel me? But
Right.
that's that's a big nutshell right there. Like I
Right.
said, I could give more, but
Right. Right. Right.
that's what's happening, my brother.
Nah.
Just giving back and giving forward,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. I was just thinking the other day. Um, you talking about the schools you go to, the 6 schools you have. That in itself has got to be like a heavy load. It's a good load, you know what I'm saying? But I was thinking the other day, I was thinking about my time in the Bronx, in them schools, and we didn't have nobody come talk to us. You know what I'm saying? There was nobody took the time to come talk to us, to no one that looked like us, right? We just had the teachers that gave up on us, right? They gave up on us. They didn't really want to put in the time. So anytime you wanted to seek information, like you had to go out and get it, but you don't know what you don't know. So to have you, like I said, have you getting like I watch Drink Champs a lot, and they always
Right.
say giving somebody they flowers.
Yeah.
We gotta give. We ain't just worry about the artists at the top. We worry about at our level. We worried about really the people in the communities that's fostering that change. So what can you tell us a little bit about what put you on this path? How you got here to be involved in the community and do the outreach and do the changes? How did you what put you on that path?
First, I got children.
Amen.
I got daughters, but they grown. 30-year-old and
Yep.
about to be 21-year-old August 2nd.
Yes, sir.
So that kind of did it. But this is something I always wanted to do because I knew that the things that I was doing, the things that my comrades and I was doing,
Yes.
we was doing for a purpose, but today it's not for a purpose.
Right.
And I'm not glorifying them times,
Hmm.
you know, because it set me back a long time, 21 years. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So for me to come out and see how a person that's a creator of something, a person that has a lot of seniority by way of popularity from real actions
Hmm.
can be a motivating tool to
Hmm.
these children
Hmm.
in a change the narrative manner.
Yes, sir.
That's what I see need to be done. And I
Right.
bring everybody together,
Right.
not to stray off, but it's still in. I bring all gang fractions together.
Right.
And this is what we doing.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So it's a lot. I can't do it by myself, but I'm
Nah.
making a change
Right.
every other day.
Right.
And that's like the one of my big motivators that made me like, nah, gotta
Yeah.
fix this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
more powerful together than separate, especially in today's time.
Yeah.
What's going on with our children, especially young black men, but now it's happening with the sisters as well.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So
What was the moment, like, is there a moment that you could pinpoint where you said, nah, I gotta change and I gotta do something to foster the change? Or was those two separate moments?
that's a good
Yeah,
two-headed question
yeah, yeah.
because I think it was both
Right.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
More so, while I was away, I put myself through strenuous issues to be parents when people out here had the chance to be parents and couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about, going to college for child psychology and sociology.
Right.
You feel me? Because I know I
Right.
didn't know how to be a parent. So
Amen.
I felt I was more like forced
Yep.
when I got out here to do it
Mm-hmm.
for other children as well as mine
Right.
at the
My
time
birth.
being.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say like more both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I really changed. I'm not saying that I'm overly perfect. There's nobody perfect. We strive
Nah.
for perfection. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
But I pretty much got everything in order with them T's, how they say,
Mm-hmm.
crossed and them I's dot.
Yes, sir. That's
Because
crazy. I
I ain't
use
letting
that.
up and I'm still on it.
Yeah.
And I'm letting the world see it
Right.
by positive motivation.
Right.
I wasn't positive before.
Mm-hmm.
I started off straight negative. You know the
Yeah.
story. You from
Yeah.
my neighborhood, actually from my building.
Yes, sir.
You was just younger. But at the same time, look at me now. I'm overly positive
Right.
in every step that I take.
Right.
So it's just it's a blessing to be here and wake up in the morning and to do it.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's like, I think you hit it on the head, and it's something that we kind of we embody in the Saturday Who is that when growing up, when like you said earlier, what you did when you did what you was doing is because it was a purpose behind it, right? But what you don't know is what you don't know. So to me, for your story, I like to just highlight that once you got the knowledge and you got the understanding, once you identify it, right, then
That's
you
a
got to
fact.
move in that path, right? I can't, I
And
can't
that's
sit
called
here and say,
accountability.
right. I can't, yeah, self accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit here and say, I can't sit here and say like, if I sit here and say, damn, I'm acting real ignorant and don't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And you said I was doing this, but it this ain't what I should be doing. And once you got that knowledge and understanding, you started acting at a different level. So I applaud you for that. And then you brought up going to school to be a better father. It's Kev, I don't think God make mistakes. It's crazy that you brought that up, and it's crazy that I got that book right there, The Artist's Way for Children. So there's an artist way, and there's an artist way for children. The reason why that book is significant is that I got artist children,
Right.
so I'm trying to be a better steward of their artistry. Right, my son makes his own little beats, makes his music. My daughter's a dancer, so it's just like I'm trying to help them foster that creativity that we didn't get to foster in our environment, right? So I think it's real important to highlight that we go and seek the knowledge when we know we don't have the knowledge, because that's what you did. That's what makes you different. That's what I'm doing. That's what makes me different. So um, I want to ask you, why do you think? What's your reason for um, the youth, right? They need someone like you to share those experiences. Why do you think that's important?
The main importance of it
Yes, sir.
is because this is not textbook.
Right.
This is social behavior knowledge, and I
Mm-hmm.
look like them,
Mm-hmm.
and I did what they think that they're doing or professing on pushing themselves to do out here in the streets, and there ain't no real outcome out of that.
Right.
You
Right.
feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reason I can't even stretch it no more. I
Right.
can, but it'll be dragging. I ain't gonna
Nah.
drag that.
Nah.
That's
It's
straight
pretty
to the point.
straightforward. It's pretty
You know
straightforward.
what I
It's
mean?
it's not textbook.
I
Uh.
look like them. One thing I've learned, right? And I deal with all demographics and age. demographics and ethnicities,
Mm-hmm.
demographics and everything that you could think of with the schools that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I make sure that I keep stuck in their brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
how was the journey in when you came home and you decided to do in the community outreach? How did the journey begin in getting into the schools and getting how did that how was that? Was it hard? Was it sometimes you was what you call it, maybe demotivated, or did you get rejected, or did was you as soon as you came home and you decided to go on this path, were you immediately immersed in it? Was it what was the hard parts?
well, actually, I never, not being funny or anything, I never was rejected. I
Okay.
just had so much going on at one time where when I was pushing to do it when I first got out, which was 2017,
Yep.
May 25th, I was so much heavily into what I'm still doing now, which is my first love, music.
Yes, sir.
So I started I started seeing different ways to reach the youth through music.
Yes.
I started seeing different cultures of music taking place where the children need to be reached because a lot of the stuff that they was talking about prior actions of self and others. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
So in a few of them, I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what like motivated me to start doing it. And then I lost sight of it for a second
Right.
until um I forgot a incident occurred somewhere, and I ended up in Virginia
Mm-hmm.
doing something out there in Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what happened,
Right.
and
But
that's
you
when I
you were
said,
doing the event.
right,
Right. Right.
somebody was not me, but
Right.
they wanted me to come speak,
Right.
and that's when I said, all right, this is how I'm gonna use this because of the people that I know in the entertainment world. I said, all right, I'm gonna use this differently, as well as the individuals that I know that's that's from the yellow lines out there that's also changing the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So I combined them
Mm-hmm.
and I stuck to it. And then I was having like conventions in Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
and a church ministry.
Right.
I guess they was on a retreat at the
Yeah.
hotel I was at, and the pastor lady stopped me and she was talking to me for like an hour and she told me like, I seen you before.
Yeah.
You need to get ordained
Mm.
because what you have to deliver is for people that look like me and you. She was Latin.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. That was your
And
message.
yeah, because she was, no disrespect. I'm not, you know, into vanguarding and battling
Mm-hmm.
religion, but
Mm-hmm.
she was trying to force something on me
Right.
in the way
Right.
of conversation, and I don't. I'm really sturdy with who I am and
Right.
what I believe in,
Right.
and it kind of like made her stand up, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then she introduced me to the pastor guy, which was black, and we was talking, and he gave me his card, and I spoke to him a few times, and it
Right.
happened again,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also in the realms of the same thing, people that look like me,
Mm-hmm.
that's struggling, and the first thing that came to my mind, children.
Right. Right.
And then it
So,
just got
and
stuck
then you
right
just
there. And I took
you
off.
got the ball rolling. Right. So that I mean that's I feel like that it happens how it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like you rolling right into it, like me getting here to, if I was to tell you the story of me getting here to Georgia and how many times I was supposed to be here,
Right.
it happens when it's supposed to happen. And when it's supposed to happen, things is probably just gonna roll. They're gonna roll. Whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in this God, it's gonna happen how it's supposed to happen. And I agree with
Absolutely.
that. And I definitely applaud you for that. Definitely. So one thing I think about, right, and this is kind of like off topic, but I want to get your opinion, right? I've been recently thinking about real estate, right? And not just real estate, but the education of the youth on real estate, fixing up the communities. I feel like community outreach is one part, but then I feel like a big part of how we fix our communities is we get
It's
the
business
the
literacy.
millionaires and you know what I'm saying, to invest in our communities. What you think about that, and why do you think it doesn't happen as much as it's supposed to? And not as it's supposed to, because I can't tell nobody what to do, right? But if there were more of us, if if we was the billionaires, imagine what Castle Hill looked like. You know what I'm saying? I certainly believe that. It's not saying we can't get there, we could get there, but why you think it don't happen as it should?
Because majority of us, and there's a few, I'm not gonna say billionaires, I say millionaires, that's still stuck on the end time. What I mean the end time is still stuck on the part where they gotta be in and be the highest in what they in. And right now, and I have to say this, we, especially as African Americans, as blacks, we are winning in every sport there is in the world. When I say sport, I'm talking about entertainment, sports, politics. We're just not generating the unification to make it go. It is, and it's sad to say, it'll happen in certain areas, but it won't happen global. And it's sad.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
And I don't know.
definitely the unification.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I always felt like, and Hocus will tell you this as well. I've been an out of towner.
Hmm.
I like to go out of town.
Yeah,
I do what I do anywhere I go,
right.
everywhere I go.
As you should.
You feel me?
Hmm.
But I also learned that from doing things outside,
Right.
it'll trickle in and make the bigger difference because now everybody gonna wanna latch on
Yes,
because
sir.
they see like, oh, this is what it is. And this is kind of like something that is transpiring now with the things that I got going on.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm proud of myself lowly because I'm not infatuated with accolades.
Right.
I'm infatuated with getting the job done.
Yes, sir. As you should be.
You see,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
watch, you see,
Yeah. Facts.
you know?
That's a fact. So when you was coming up, right?
Yeah.
Um, did you have someone? Did you have a you right now?
Me right now?
So how you are right now?
Nah,
Did you have that?
nah.
Do you think? Because I often think like this for myself. Do you think you would have been receptive to you right now? You, if you back then, if you had a you, somebody like you right now,
Nah,
you don't think you would have been
nah.
receptive?
That's why I understand.
Yeah, that's what gives you the grace and the patience.
That's why I understand them. That's why
Right.
I, you know, that's why that's why they jack me.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Because and I'm not saying it in the manner of glorification.
Right.
I'll be outside with them, but I'll be outside with them showing them something different.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Most be outside with them to manipulate them.
Right.
I don't be outside with the manipulation. I be
Hmm.
outside with the percolation.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right. You know how to influence them. You know how to get to them.
You
Amen.
feel me?
Yeah, I
So
hear you.
like I so I understand them. So I wouldn't be like some of them are non-receptive. They non-receptive to anybody but what they doing.
Hmm.
You feel me? And they gang,
Hmm.
group of people,
Hmm.
associates,
Right.
team, unit.
Right.
And I understand them. That's why I told you when you asked me that, nah, I wouldn't be receptive to nobody like me back then.
Hmm.
Because back then, if you don't mind me going into a little bit, because I
Nah, go
started
ahead, big
earlier.
bro. Go
Back
ahead,
then,
go
right?
ahead. You go around the world.
All right, I'm gonna take you around the world. I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
you back though.
We here for the knowledge.
Um, back then it was about taking care of the area and money.
Right.
That's all you know what I mean? I don't want to go into too much because it'll sound like glorification and it ain't.
Right.
It's
Right.
just my testimony.
Right. Right.
Hillside, Kev Moe story about to come out in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Get ready.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's about man, bro. I never had. I would never be receptive back then to somebody like me as of me today.
Right. And that's real.
Because it was too much money going on
Yeah.
and unification was pure.
Hmm.
That's why I'm still with my same unit. My
Hmm.
same unit is still with me.
Right. Right. Yeah, different. It's different
Yep.
times. It's different times.
I came out first.
Right.
Hot Boy came out second. Then BMO just came home.
Right.
We missing a few,
Yeah.
but the original Ghostbusters is right here.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? Castle Hill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know you. So everybody, y'all heard. You did some time, a lot of time, right? So if you had a message to those out there about to come home, whether they did 5, 10, 20, what would be your message to them about to come home, especially those that had a reputation that preceded them, like yourself? What would be your message to the ones coming home that could be in the same position and put, you know what I'm saying? That could put work in the community the right way as you like you doing. So what would be your message to them?
Well, first, let me say this. A lot of them that's coming home, they still was some of the ones that I left behind and came home.
Right,
So some of them is already tied into what's going on
right. The one, right,
out here.
right.
Um, they already know because some of them probably watching by way of peoples. Y'all know my name, right? Professional sucker ducker. That's all you got to do when you get out. The same thing I was doing
Yep.
there, just doing what I do. Remain a professional sucker ducker.
Hmm.
That's how you win.
Yes,
All
sir.
professional sucker duckers know how to do one thing and one thing only. Mind their business and get to the right business.
Right. Get to the right business. Get to the right business.
That's the only word I could give them.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
keep it plain and simple because a lot of people come out of prison, right,
Yeah.
and get derailed.
Yeah.
They get derailed and sometimes it turn into parallel.
Right.
And when it turn into parallel, that's where the personalities come in and split.
Hmm.
And it becomes a problem
And
for
they
the
find
people.
themselves in the
Right.
right.
But also the bigger key, it becomes a problem when it becomes parallel, when it's split, because it hinders and messes up people that's around them that don't want to pay attention to it because they got so much loyalty for the person
Right.
instead of being who you are and expressing to your bros, your sis, cool. Listen, right?
Yep.
They're, oh yeah, word, oh yeah, so we're gonna go over there and see what's up with them.
Hmm.
That's a derailing turning into parallel.
Right.
Because now you still fighting the feet of damn, I'm on parole possibly or federal probation, or damn, I ain't trying to go that route. I got some good situations, but
Right.
this is the people's.
Right. Right. Right.
You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. So you just professional sucker ducker.
You got no choice,
You
man.
got to. You got to get the
Who you
right
keep
business.
around you is you. Remember
Right.
that.
Your team is everything. Your team is everything.
And age don't matter.
It don't.
This matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why you. That's why. That's why, as we said earlier, going to seek what you don't know is what you don't know. Yeah, that's cool, but going to seek the knowledge is what's going to amplify you. Like I really, growing up, and I know growing up for you, uh, uh, Martin Luther King, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. That really resonates. Like the more I read, like these books there, like the more
Yes.
I read, the more I research, and the more I have conversations, right?
Right.
High level conversations. I don't do small talk. I gotta tell people like I don't really do small talk. I can't. I'm not. If I link up with you, we both gonna grow. We gonna grow in this conversation. So I think finding the knowledge is really what keep things. You a sucker ducker. One, if you finding the knowledge, you automatically gonna watch who you be around
Absolutely.
because they not gonna be on your wavelength. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So I had a I had a question pop in my mind, right? Being from the same environment and having we both have children, right? I got 5 kids, and I think about my relationship with my pops. He was from Cortland, and he was in and out of prison as well. You know what I'm saying? So when you came home or when you was in the system, did you find struggles with keeping up with your kids, you know what I'm saying, who now are a grown man, grown woman, but did you find struggles in that, and how did you weather that storm?
It's always struggles when you're away from your children,
Yes,
especially
sir.
when you wasn't there when they for them from the get go.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I endured the struggles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got over them. And I'm not glorifying it. This is just my testimony.
Right.
And I never really spoke this part of my testimony because I don't want, because it's a lot of people worldwide that knows me. And this is a messaging vessel.
Yes, sir.
And I try to protect majority of the stuff that I say because people
Yes.
know me.
You gotta be
Feel me?
PC. Yes, sir.
And I don't want them like, oh yeah, that's the one I know right there. But
Yeah.
this is my testimony. I can't stop it.
Right.
I was in prison banging.
Mhm. Right.
I was on gang time.
Right.
That was me coping. That's what how I was on gang time.
Mhm.
Heavy gang activity. And it's sad to say it because that's not never supposed to be nobody's testimony.
Right.
But that's my walk of life, and I don't regret none of it because it made me who I am
Amen.
today.
I don't
And
think
a
so.
lot of people always say that they regret it when they ask that question, can they take things back that they've done?
Right.
I don't want to take nothing back because if I did, you wouldn't know me.
Right.
I possibly would never existed.
Right.
I didn't think this existence was going to transpire for me or none of my
Right.
comrades, my family.
Right. Because look at the greatness you are today, big bro.
That part.
Look at the greatness you are today.
So that's how I got through with, I gave you multiple answers for that
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
but that's how you know
You
what I'm
weathered the
saying?
storm. Yeah.
I was still doing the same thing at that time. Listen, we talking from 1994 all the way up in the 2000s.
Right.
I'm still on street time, but my mind is so sophisticated.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Where there's nothing that I can't see forthcoming in the street
Right.
because I done seen it all in jail with different areas of people and species and walks of
Right.
life where it wasn't took for a game. You can't hide.
Right. Right.
But so many
Oh,
prisons you could go to. I was on game time. No glorification in that, but it's my testimony,
right.
which is
You
coming
gotta speak
soon.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Almost finished.
We can't wait to see
I
that.
mean,
Yup.
word,
So
boy.
I ask you your message to the incarcerated, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate that curveball, and I just do that curveball about the kids, but I appreciate that vulnerability as well. Definitely no glorification. Me reiterate what Big Bro saying, no glorification, but it is important to have your testimony said and told, right? Um, Unfortunately, we can't control how people take things, right? Somebody's still gonna hear what you're saying, even though you said no glorification. Somebody's still gonna watch this and be like, yeah, gang, gang. Nah, bro, we on upper level. But so I know growing up, people that weren't on that type of time, they were called civilians. They weren't a part of that, you know what I'm saying, the gang life, right?
Absolutely.
What are your message? What is your message for civilians? What Because I think people like you, um, there's not, I wouldn't say more times than none because we have more yous, right? But it's people like you that come home and you apply yourself. And then there's civilians who want change, but they don't do no change. So what would be your message to the civilians out there?
That's trying to do what? Just message to the
Just
civilians?
message you.
Stay civilians.
Hmm.
Stay civilians and live your life because your liberty is more important than anything, your liberation.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot of people don't understand the mathematical structure behind that word liberation. Liberation means a whole lot.
Break it down, man.
Liberation
Let's
means
go.
life.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You got to
sir.
keep your freedom.
Hmm.
So stay being a civilian, but excuse me, at the same time, I will also, and some people gonna identify with what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
civilians need to remain civilians, but also have some type of latching on wisdom wise with someone that's from them yellow lines because that's survival.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't have to be in something to survive. You just have to know something to make it through
Mm.
to survive it.
Right. Mm. You gotta have the tool. I believe you gotta have the tools no matter what. A toolbox don't just have a Phillips screwdriver.
Yes,
It's got
sir.
screwdrivers, it's got wrenches, it got torques, right?
Yes,
All
sir.
those different type of tools is gonna help you for a different type of build, right? So being a civilian, whether you're a civilian, a gang member, a cop, you should have everything in your toolbox, right? Your toolbox
Absolutely.
should have every tool that you need that somebody else may need. Because you may need the wrench. I don't need it right now, but that wrench is gonna help you build the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So like
Sure.
my analogies be crazy, you know what I'm saying?
They
But
on point.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got your message to the civilians. Now, as before we get to the closure, right? And I appreciate you. I'm honored to have you here to sit here with somebody of your stature. Um, really, because you from the like I said, the forward generation. I've never got to sit with somebody one on one that's a little bit older than me from where I'm from, doing the work that I'm doing. That
That you
I
actually know about and know of. And I don't mean to cut your wisdom,
nah yeah.
but it's a different hit. I'm
Yes,
gonna tell you
sir. It
why.
is.
Because when I first came home, I was around the generations that what you just asked me. You're probably gonna laugh. What you just asked me, did I have somebody like me at my time? Nah, I had the ones like, yo, hold on, here go this Grills, Nick. Here go that Grills, Nick. Do what you do. I'ma
Yeah.
holler back. Let me
Yeah.
get this at.
Yeah.
That's why I said the times is different. It was about the bag.
Right.
What they call in the bag, check,
Mhm.
the manyan.
Mhm.
Back then it was about that.
Yep.
Block work for real.
Mhm.
Not this rapping stuff,
Right.
block work.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying, boy? No glorification in that. Um, so it's like, and I don't like to use this in a irrational manner.
Right.
Either you do or you don't, but you got to do it right. You
Mhm.
got to do what you're doing right with change. Change is the most scariest thing. I didn't mean to stray off, but I had to say
Nah,
it.
you got it.
Like change is the most scariest thing in the
Terrifying.
world to a person that never experienced it. But
Yes,
the
sir.
only way you can experience change is through accountability. You have to take accountability for your
Yeah.
own
Preach to 'em.
human
They
actions.
don't hear you. You
That part.
preaching. You preaching. You preaching.
I've learned to take
Yes, sir.
accountability,
Yes.
but I learned that I wasn't no glorification in this either. I learned that I wasn't just a drug dealer, a gun player.
Right.
I was a hustler.
Mhm.
Politicians is hustlers.
Yes,
The
sir.
government is hustlers. If you're getting a check, a person is getting a check from a government for doing anything, they're hustlers. Not the person that's getting the check, the person that's giving the check, which is the government. Because some way you're going to get something back and they're going to get more increments than most.
Right. Right.
So I learned that I was
Perspective.
that.
Yep.
And I learned to get around that and bring my people with me
Yep.
if I can.
Right. As you should. As
That
you
part.
should. Give
See where
us.
we sitting at.
We gonna follow you on Instagram.
But yeah,
We gonna Big Bro Instagram gonna be up there. You gonna get it after this video. So just make sure you tune in, stay tuned, support. The community is important, right? Yes, we talked about inspiring the young people that look like us, but we here to inspire everybody. Change needs to happen all over the country, all over the world. So really get linked in, get tuned in with Big Bro, and really, if you got the time and you got the mindset, then you need to make it to one of these events and support these events for real, for real. Especially if you watching the Saturday Who podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Saturday Who podcast. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah.
I got one thing to say if
Go
possible.
ahead, Big
Let me
Bro.
give
It's
a
all
shout out to
possible.
my young fella, Unique Fashion with the, like I tell everybody, networking is worth more than money. But one thing you got to do, but you
Man,
got to step with confidence, but with humility. That's the most important part that I like to leave a lot of people with. Recognizing and understanding how to be humble.
yes, sir.
Recognizing and understanding that Money today is nothing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why it's so easy to get.
Right.
So if you're not getting to some type of money, you in the wrong field.
Yep.
You need to be in the field.
Yep.
Just saying. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's too easy to get it. We ain't
Yep.
talking about raking in millions of dollars every day. You ain't
Hmm.
in that light. I'm not in that light.
Right.
But at the same time, it's too easy to do.
Right.
But the thing is this, you have to deal with humility. You'll get further because you need to network. See,
Right.
people can't network because they don't know how to conversate. They don't know how to fit in different realms.
Come on,
In
man.
order to fit in these realms to get where you need to get to, you have to be humble.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
Yes, sir.
I can't say it no better than that. And I think by way of my own actions, I have humbled a lot of people
Right.
by way of actions, and I'm proud of that.
Yep.
Like to the T, like, because a lot of people will still be out here knocking people heads off, and I ain't, no glorification in that.
Yep.
But to see the things that I'm doing and it inspires other individuals that's older than me and younger than me, like, because you know how that be. Everybody
Yeah.
always pray on your downfall when they know
Yeah.
your character.
Yeah.
But when you switch it up, keep more balanced, they like, oh damn,
Right.
he really and he getting to what it's supposed to get to, or she getting to what it's supposed to got to.
Right.
You feel me? So
Yes, sir.
humbleness and humility, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta stay like that
Humble. Mm.
every day. When I wake up in the morning, I could do anything. I woke up
Yes, sir.
because I'm
Amen.
humble.
Man, do the work. Do the work. Change your mindset. Change your actions. Gain the knowledge and hustle. And be humble. KevMo, I appreciate you.
You know
We
that.
appreciate you. Saturday, who appreciates you? Yo, shout out to KevMo. All the links is gonna be there. I want to give one more shout out to my big brother S1, home after 16 joints. We talking higher mindset, higher skill, we talking everything. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's Saturday Who Podcast. I'm Sheemie Dubb, Kev Moe. Holla. Peace.
Woo!